In a forgotten corner of the world, cradled by the sun-scorched Atlas Mountains, where the earth is dry and life is an act of defiance, there grows a tree. It is not a tall or handsome tree, favored by poets. Its branches are gnarled and thorny, a sculpture of resilience twisted by the hot wind and by centuries of patience, as if holding a difficult secret. This is the Argan tree, a rugged king in rags, a gift of the earth found nowhere else on the planet, and in the silent shade of its sparse leaves, we find the world of Fadma. Fadma's world was not one of grand palaces or the crowded labyrinth of the city. It was a world bounded by the sky and the earth, a world of women, a world of quiet, knowing laughter that floated on the afternoon air, of shared stories passed down in a murmur, and of a collective memory spoken only by the hands. Fadma, like all the girls of her village, grew up under the protection of these ancient trees. She did not dream of color. No, her secret was different. She was in love with the taste and with the sound. The taste was amlu, a thick, flowing river of crushed almonds, honey, and fresh argan oil her mother would make for special days. And the sound was the soundtrack to her childhood, the steady metronome of the village, a hushed, rhythmic percussion. Crack, crack, crack. It was the sound of her mother, her aunties, and their mothers before them, sitting in a circle on woven mats, a sacred institution that met every day without fail. Each woman held 2 smooth stones in her hand. When Fadma turned 10, her mother did not take her to a master's workshop. The workshop came to her. She was given her own 2 stones, cool and heavy from the riverbed, and was invited to join the circle. The first thing Fadma learned was not the craft itself. It was silence. And in that silence, she learned that patience was the true currency of this land. Her mother, seeing her growing restless, would whisper, "The Argan nut has no love for haste. It holds its heart tightly. You can only receive it if you ask with a gentle hand." Her beginnings were clumsy, filled with frustration. She would strike the hard-shelled nut, too soft, and it would mock her with its unbroken surface. Too hard, and a violent crack would crush the precious, oily kernel within. A tiny, wasted failure. Her small fingers grew sore, but she watched the older women. She watched their hands. She saw that their strike was not an act of force. It was a knowing note, a precise, intimate tap, born of a million repetitions. A gentle tap, a clean break, a gentle tap, a clean break. In that quiet rhythm, the rest of the world would slowly disappear. There was only her, the hard shell in one hand, the river stone in the other, and the promise hidden inside. It was a dialogue, a private meditation spoken in the language of stone. After the cracking came the second sound, the low, continuous, circular whisper of the Raba, the stone hand mill. She learned to pour the lightly roasted kernels, now fragrant with a warm, nutty aroma, into the mill's center. She learned to turn the heavy top stone, not too fast, not too slow, a dance of weight and momentum. She watched, mesmerized, as a thick, fragrant brown paste began to emerge from its side. And from that paste, with the strength of her own young arms, she learned to knead and press, adding drops of warm water, until the miracle finally happened. The first reluctant drop of oil appeared, then another, liquid sunlight, a thread of pure gold. The liquid soul of the tree, wrested from the heart of the dry, stubborn earth. The sun rose and set thousands of times on this quiet ritual. The years passed. The lines on Fadma's face deepened, telling their own story. But her hands grew more certain, more knowing. Now a master in her own right, she sat in the center of the circle. One day, her own young daughter came to her, her eyes shining with the same bright curiosity that had once been in hers. Fadma sat beside her new apprentice. She took the girl's small hand in hers. She didn't say, "Strike it like this." She said, "Listen, the nut will tell you when it is ready. Feel its weight." She said, "This work is not just a craft, it is an amana, a trust. I received it from my mother, who received it from hers, and today I am giving it to you. Do not let the world make you hurry. Do not betray it. Fadma, one day, will pass. Her name, like the names of her ancestors, may be forgotten by the wider world, but she will not truly die. Her spirit remains in every gnarled tree she protected. Her patience remains in every single drop of golden oil she pressed. Her silent prayer for her family remains in the light that brings nourishment and beauty to homes thousands of miles away. The next time you open a bottle of argan oil, when you feel its silky warmth on your skin, or taste its nutty richness on your tongue, do not just see the oil. Try to listen. Be still for a moment. And if you focus, you might just hear the faint, rhythmic sound of a stone striking a nut, echoing from a valley far away. Crack. 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 The sound of a woman engraving her life story in the universal language of patience.